I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Doomsday Aftermath. Today is a very special episode as we play the dating game. We have two very eligible bachelors set up on dates already, and we are going to see if we can't find our third lucky bachelor, someone to, you know, go out on a date with himself. So, the first thing that we need to catch up on is the fact that you guys have indeed contained the Black Lantern ring using Vivian, we'll call it for now, technology, unless Viv wishes to, disclose more about her stuff. But even with Great King Rat having spent, depending on which version of him you want to talk about, a million or 350, years on the plane, it's not necessarily known to him all of the brand names and everything. So
Yeah.
we'll leave that to Viv as far as like how much knowledge you guys have. But for now, we'll call it Vivian technology that has managed to contain and control the you know contaminous uh, energies from the Black Lantern ring enough for now to be able to be safe. That's a really rough word for me to say as a DM here that it's safe, but I'm going to say safe for now, just because I don't want you guys overly focusing on it right now. I definitely will be having something with this. Like, you can't just keep a lantern ring and like have it just, you know, be cool with that unless the lantern ring wants to be with you. And this one does not. So, uh, there will be a thing with that, but not right now. Right now, for any of our viewers, and to remind you guys, Great King Rat had made a date with Sinestro sometime after the whole Trigon fiasco, um, and it came about quite unexpectedly. Although I think longtime fans of Sinestro may have suspected. But regardless, there was a charged moment where Sinestro felt as though he had a friend again, and lest anyone forgets, this was a man who was beloved and celebrated as the most powerful Green Lantern of his time. So to be accepted by someone in the hero community, to that degree, probably played a bit into him overlooking your rat status. Although maybe Sinestro's just into that too. Maybe he just really likes you for who you are. You'll have to, you know, find that out over time. But Viv, you had a little bit of a different experience with setting up your date. Uh, Not that it makes it any less real or anything like that. Just it started off as more of a business proposition, and that's Oswald Cobblepot for you. I mean, he's not a ladies' man. He doesn't have any extra savoir faire, and that doesn't take away from the fact that he is a very wealthy, elite businessman who is pretty high classed in a lot of other areas. Bit older, rotund, but otherwise, you'll have to see just how you get along with him and all of that. She'll have you calling her stepmom in no time.
Who?
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare? You've described a nightmare.
Go to jail.
Dude, fucking, dude, I. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, are you okay?
No.
That really
It
got
was-
you.
Yes, the fucking notion made me laugh so fucking hard.
And
Sorry.
so Tremor, as these dates approach, uh Kite Man would like to know why you don't have a date. He's not asking you out.
Nah,
Kite Man does not fly that way.
that's fine, Kite Man. I'm just gonna go on patrol.
Kite
Someone's
Man
gotta.
has patrol handled.
Yeah, but also I want to go on patrol because it's fun.
I think you can't get a date. That's kind of sad because Kite Man's going out with some D-list villain of the week, next
Sure.
weekend.
That bitch who kills people with electricity.
That bitch who kills people with electricity next weekend.
For short, I just call her that bitch.
We got little pet names for each other.
They actually met when she struck him with lightning. That's
Yeah,
a joke.
yeah. Total Ben Franklin moment. So, yeah, Kite Man's like kind of like really laying into you here, Tremor. He's giving you the business. He's about to shove you into some lockers if you keep being a nerd like this.
We're getting shoved in a locker by Kite Man.
I couldn't even fit in a locker.
He bought a deluxe one just for you.
I'm pretty sure you barely fit in the locker room. Like, I mean, you fit in the locker room, but I mean through the doors and all of that.
Yeah, I bunk my head when I go in.
I'd like to think that after you took out the upper part of the door 3 times, that Viv finally had them install an arched door.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, in that event, the door isn't arched. There's just a doggy flap, so it makes a bonk whenever he walks through it.
Oh, so anyway, but he is ribbing you. I mean, obviously he can't do anything physically to you, but you're okay with this? You're just gonna let Kite Man punk you out?
Yeah.
All right. Kite Man wins this day. Later, nerd.
And then his kite gets stuck on the window as he tries to leave.
Absolutely. He goes to fly out the window. His kite gets caught, rips off of him, and he has to deploy the backup.
I just give him a little clap.
He turns around, but like doesn't say anything. He looks and then flies off.
Right, man, doesn't want to talk about it.
Kramer is like a well-known superhero now. He could, if he wanted to.
Get away with
Wanted
murder?
to what? Like
No,
fuck
like,
someone
just
up on
fucking get it.
Tinder?
Already
Yeah,
have.
Oh no, Tinder. Kramer's on Tinder.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
No? Oh, gotten away with murder. Yes. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
No, go ask out somebody in the base. Just cause drama. Be stupid.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Be stupid. Come on, Travis. Do something funny.
No.
Oh no, he doesn't. I just wanted Kite Man to give him some hell and like make sure that he understood that he was the only one who isn't going out on a date, so he must be like the nerd and the loser, you know. Technically,
ask Andrew.
Killer Moth and King Kraken are not going out either, but that's, you know.
But King Kraken is asexual. King Kraken does not fuck.
Right. He doesn't even talk, so like, you know. And then you know, Killer Moth, he's got like stuff going on. So anyway, which one of you wishes to go first?
I'm gonna be the asshole. Viv, go first.
Yours happens first chronologically speaking.
No, they happen at the same time. It happened the same day.
Yeah, it's not it's not a double date, but it's a double date, you know.
Well, you secured your date first.
You're the one doing this as a job.
I already got paid. I have no obligations to this date. I'm just nervous about it because I'm a social futz.
Hey, don't show up. See what happens.
I'm not gonna do that much.
Okay. I'm just saying, like that'd be funny.
That would not be funny ultimately.
Viv.
Yeah.
Evens or odds?
Odds are even that this shit's gonna get fucked. I'll take evens.
All right, I'll take odds. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Okay, so boop, boop.
The building is simple. It's not anything incredibly fancy because what Earth extravagance is not easily reproducible somewhere in the galaxy. You know, there's nothing about gold or anything that would impress him. So the building is clean, and full of artwork done by people that Great King Rat has hired or commissioned over the past. God, how long has it been? Like 2 years now?
Yeah. Well, you get a phone call,
Okay.
and so your phone starts ringing.
And Wayne answers his jitterbug.
You hear a voice on the other end. It
Good.
it
The cell phone normally goes.
sounds like someone that you recognize, but your scent based senses are so powerful that like sometimes you have trouble like placing voices and all of that, so you're not sure who it is, but they say, is this Wayne?
Yep, it's Wayne.
Please hold for Sinestro.
Isn't his fucking bodyguard that big guy?
Mongol, isn't he dead now?
No, he survived because Hellwind came before he died.
Oh, that's right.
No, he didn't. 'Cause
Oh,
Mongol and Sinestro went in first, and then the rest of us followed.
I thought that didn't happen in this timeline.
No, because Trigon went full form
Hmm.
after he killed Mongol.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And Trigon was still released and everything in this one, but Hellwayne managed to get him into the portal. So I'm pretty sure Mongol's dead. So in any case, I didn't intend for it to be Mongol. So
Will not be missed.
yeah, but he asks you to hold for Sinestro, and then Sinestro gets on and he's like, Wayne,
Hey, Sinestro.
listen, I I have some reservations about coming down to Earth, and I think it's best if we meet somewhere, isolated, extremely isolated. I don't want to show up in Gotham or Metropolis or Coast City or uh, any of those other dumbass town names.
You give me. I got a place ready, but you give me 6 hours, I can teleport it to Wyoming.
I I appreciate that. I do actually have a place in mind. If
Oh,
you
by all means.
if you would please look at your computer, I have had my henchman send you the coordinates of a diner in the middle of Nevada that should suit our purposes.
If that's what you want, by all means.
And then
I got to talk to my henchman because he's the one who reads the computer. Kill him off.
he clicks over on the radio. Killer Moth in security. What can I do for you?
Where am I going? What coordinates were just sent?
This is a diner. It appears to have been owned by someone in the mafia back in the 1980s before ownership kind of gets murky. The records are unclear as to who exactly owns it now. It just appears on Google Maps as Diner, and as you can see from the Google Earth photos here, it is yeah.
Yeah. Sinestro, are you sure? This place kind of looks like it isn't operational anymore. I could get some of my folks in there. We could get it running again.
I assure you, it is quite operational. The photos may look somewhat suspect, but my men assure me that they make the best pancakes 24/7, and they make fresh whipped cream for on top.
Can't argue with that. I'll meet you there. How soon?
You said you needed 6 hours?
Oh, that was if I was teleporting a whole building. I could be there 10 minutes from now.
Ah, yes. As you know, I am the most powerful lantern of all time, so I can be there at the speed of light.
Well, yeah, but it takes light 6 minutes to get to Earth from the sun.
I'm not on the sun. I'm on my base, like on the dark side of the moon or wherever it is.
That's a very close base for somebody who was like menaced by the old Green Lantern. I like the style. I like being that close.
The closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm.
Powerful words. I'll meet you at the diner soon.
All right. So, uh, you guys, are fast. So no matter,
Yeah.
what means of getting there you guys choose, like, it's all going to end up being basically the next page is you guys here at the diner. And you arrive. Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured is that you could run fast enough to where you just had to get close.
Yeah.
So
I actually bought more ranks of speed. Now all my shit is at 8.
nice. So as you are approaching the diner here, you can see that this was like some old gas station, like strip mall kind of thing. It's really unclear what this little podunk ass stop in the middle of nowhere was really trying to be, but whatever it was, now the only thing that is still even somewhat operational is this diner. And at first glance, you'd swear that it wasn't even operational itself, but you can smell it. You could smell it from a while back. The smell of the grease, the bacon and sausage and eggs and just all of that grease from 30 years of being just a greasy spoon, type of place, and now that flat top griddle has been seasoned with that, you know, for so long that it is permeated through the air so thick that you can already taste it. Yeah. And so you know you smell all of this, and you look in, and you can see there is one person seated at the counter, and a big fat waitress counter server pouring a cup of coffee for them.
I take it it's Sinestra.
It is not. It is an old man in uh, a very slimming blue jacket outfit combination.
Is it somebody Wayne recognizes, or is this just a guy?
And you don't recognize him.
All right. Wayne will wait for Sinestro before he goes in so that he doesn't feel like he's been. So that there's no mix-ups of any kind.
Aw, is Wayne afraid he's getting stood up? That's so cute.
No,
He's
just,
he's shy. He's gonna stand there and wait. And so a few moments, a minute and a half. I don't want to make it seem like it's instantaneous, nor does he leave you hanging either. But shortly after you're standing there looking in and all of that, you see a yellow streak of light crashing down to Earth, and then suddenly, in a burst of the yellow ring energy, Sinestro appears in front of the diner.
shit like that makes me wish my powers were less subtle. That was very cool.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't even notice these things.
We tend to stop noticing the best parts about us after a while.
So, my friend, can I? Wow, that is one nice suit you are wearing. I am so used to seeing you heroes in your spandex and capes that I forget sometimes we're all just people after all, and that is quite a suit you have there. You really dressed up.
Yeah, to be fair, they don't make a ton of clothes for guys my size. So I have, street clothes, dress clothes, and work clothes. I just kind of have the three sets, a couple sets of each, but
And with that, he uses his yellow ring to give himself like this total yellow and black zoot suit outfit to wear.
a classic. Wayne will open the door for him.
Ding! By the way, do you notice that he referred to you as regular people there?
Yeah, I loved it.
So you guys go in, and the man looks up from his coffee, and he's just beaming with a smile as he sees you two enter, and goes back to eating his breakfast and drinking his coffee. He's a skinny old white man with gray hair, and you guys have a choice of sitting at the counter, sitting at one of the tables in the middle. There's like two or three tables in the middle, or sitting in one of the booths in a ring around the outside wall. There's like six or however many booths.
Does Sinestro move for one?
He's kind of looking towards you to see what you would prefer.
Uh, Wayne will get a chair. Wayne will take the table because you can kind of control how you sit in a chair more than you can the booth. And there's no looking like a fucking 11-year-old when one of these 6 inches of you pops up over the fucking table at the booth.
As Sinestro sees that these tables are not sized for a 4-foot rat, he, instead of embarrassing you by making some kind of booster seat like you're a baby, raises the legs of the chair with yellow energy light enough to make it comfortable for you to sit.
That's See, I was just gonna stand on it. That's incredibly sweet.
And then he just, sits down himself, and of course, being the tall, purple, mustachioed man that he is, he fits just fine. But
Yeah,
and
but
it,
he's probably very used to dealing with differently abled people, considering he hires, a spider, a robot, and a sentient virus.
yeah, yeah. So after a little bit, the woman shouts over from the counter, "Well, what do you guys want?"
You know this place better than I do.
"Oh, my apologies." And he takes the menus and hands you one, and he says, "If you you know are interested, they just have big pictures of all of the food items, and so you don't have to even read or anything. I uh, of course know that you are quite literate, just nearsighted, and so your uh, sight should not hinder you in being able to see the large pictures of food here. So here, why don't you go ahead and see if there's anything in particular that you would like? Because I would hate to order for you and have you not like it. Although I can tell you, I will be getting the uh, grand stack of pancakes with extra whipped cream, and
Oh,
if you order it, if you order it uh, celebration style, they serve it to you with sprinkles and a cherry and sparklers.
hello.
Yes, hello.
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
late, aren't I?
well, yes, you are late, and we'll get to you. So,
Sorry about that. I
it's
had
okay. Just you're interrupting the scene now, so you're gonna have to wait.
understood.
I ain't really a picky eater, I suppose.
And
The whole,
do you? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you know greasy spoons and all that? Like all of the
oh,
typical, greasy
yeah.
spoon, stuff is. So if Wayne has, like whatever preference or whatever,
Uh,
go.
One thing that is shared between Wayne and I is that neither one of us ever uses menus in restaurants outside of like ethnic places. 100%. If I go into a diner, I already know what I'm ordering.
Oh, okay. Well, then by all means, you can just set it down. Or what you tell me.
Yeah,
What do you do? What do you do?
he's gonna look at it first because he was handed it, and that was incredibly polite. But he's gonna get a stack of pancakes, an egg, and some bacon.
All right. Uh, y'all want coffee with that then?
Sure.
Hmm. Coffee
You,
tends to agitate me a bit. I better stick to decaf. And she looks at him funny. We don't have decaf here. Oh, hot chocolate? Just in the packets. Could you make it with milk at least? Oh, whatever. Look at Mr. Prissy Pants over here. And the man at the counter kind of looks back at you guys and looks at her and just kind of like moves over to a table like near you, but not too near you, but away from her.
If it's trouble, you can just bring the milk. I got the. And Wayne will light his finger on fire for a second.
Oh my goodness, put that out.
Yeah, all right. All right. I, th- I think I misread the purpose of this diner.
Sinestro like chuckles a bit as you seem to have riled up the you know, let's not, paint her with too harsh of a brush here. She's just some overworked, waitress in the middle of nowhere, like but she's
And,
got some maybe backwards views.
and fucking aliens keep coming into her diner.
Yeah, and then there's like an
An
alien and a
alien
rat.
and a giant rat.
So there's just reasons why she's not necessarily the most evil Karen alive here, but you know
Very Nevada, to be fair. I've been
yeah,
to Nevada,
yeah,
and
that's
if a giant rat walks through the door, I don't like people come in with tigers and shit. You know?
yeah, like she didn't call the cops. So, yeah. But with you lighting your finger on fire, and but Sinestro chuckles a bit, so it's all good, and she puts the order up on the little round ticket spinny thing that they have at those old diners, and the plates come through some hole in the wall where you can't see just like what condition the kitchen is in. But let me tell you, Wayne, you can smell it. And not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna die, like kind of smell it. Like it's not like super infested with rats and cockroaches and salmonella bacteria and all of that, but I mean every last inch of it's covered in grease and grime, and just it's a greasy spoon to the extreme.
I mean, the grease actually helps keep you from shit like salmonella. To be fair, uh, it breeds different bacteria.
Yeah. But, either way, like, the condition the kitchen is in just through your sense of smell, but they keep it, pretty
Um,
well bunkered up so that you can't really see.
if
And
I if Wayne knew that as soon as he came in, he would have ordered a slab of ham instead of bacon because the greasy slab of ham is chef's kiss for this big rat.
oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you can get they actually have two different you can get the Canadian bacon like slab of ham, or you can get the ham steak or whatever it is. Like it's a thicker slice of.
Ham, 100% ham steak because they cut that shit off of an actual like ham, and Canadian bacon is a piece of processed meat.
Yeah, I know, but still. So
I get you.
yeah, so you get the ham steak then. Your
Yeah,
your plates come up. They are every bit as advertised, and Sinestro looks like a kid in the candy store with his plate of, when you get the grand stack, it's not three pancakes, it's six. Each one with a layer of whipped cream stacked on top of each other, doused in sprinkles, cherry on top, two sparklers shooting out either end is what holds the stacks together, and it's just like this glorious mess of chaos, and he has a grin from ear to ear as he like starts to pour syrup all over it.
I can only get so hungry.
I don't know. These two guys are not human beings, to be fair.
And then like I don't know, like he kind of waits for you a little bit, but like he just starts tearing into it. If you start eating right away, he's like, you know, trying to
Yeah,
he's trying to beat you to it if you start eating right away. But if you don't, like he hesitates for a second, but like he's hungry, he wants it.
no, by all means. Like they both as soon as he sees him, like, tearing into it like a fucking wild animal, Wayne will do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he's got, some whipped cream and syrup on his little tiny mustache, and he's just eating, and then he realizes that, he's in the middle of a date, and he stops, and he like, wipes his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, my manners."
No, don't worry about it. I understand more than you realize. Both the celebration stack and the hunger, and like I get it. I 100% get it.
Yours looks very greasy and delicious as well.
Oh, help yourself if you want some. I mean, the ham in a place like this is one of a kind.
I hope you don't think me weird if I uh take it and dip a little bit of it in my syrup here. I love the sweetness of the syrup with the saltiness of the greasy ham.
Of course, whatever you like.
And so yeah, he cuts off just he you have a huge ham steak, but he just cuts the tiniest little piece because he's trying, like, he saw you tearing into it. He knows you like it, so he's not trying to take too much of your ham. And
Please help yourself. Really, I insist.
no, and he just takes a little bit and he dips it right in his syrup, and it's just dripping with syrup, and he eats it. He's like, that's so good. Thank you so much. Truly, it has been too long since I have enjoyed a simple comfort such as, being able to relax and eat and enjoy something without having to look over my shoulder and worry about, whether or not I was being set up or betrayed, or even with my own men, trying to take over leadership, etc. There's no winning when you're the greatest lantern of all time.
It's only at the top.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Well, I'll say this: I'm happy to have you, and Earth's probably pretty happy to have you too. With all the shit that's been going on, one more heavy hitter around, never a bad thing.
Yes. Damn
What?
it. I
Oh,
I just Wayne, my friend. I can call you that, yes.
of course.
I I I've enjoyed, you know, getting to know you, because obviously we've kind of, kept in touch a little bit as we built up to our date and everything. And I've struggled. I am a villain. I I have come to terms with that as far as the way the world wants to see me. Though I am not an evil man. My goal has always and will always be to protect the earth. Yes, I may see it as my duty to protect the earth by ruling over it. But if you ruled, you'd believe in a ruling class too. So, I just have my own, beliefs, and that's just how it is. But here's the thing. I know something that you don't know, that Lex Luthor doesn't know, that maybe even Brainiac himself doesn't know, although that mother knows everything, so he probably does. There are many lanterns in the universe. And I don't just mean the lantern carriers, the ring bearers. Those lanterns are not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the great lantern cores, not corpse. The Great Lantern cores, the energy cores that fuel the lanterns. There's not just the green, not just the yellow, not just the black that you now know about. There are many. And now, with more coming into play, they have all awoken. Not that they weren't awake before per se, but like their attention has been drawn towards your world. For some reason, this seems to be the staging grounds for a war that is coming, and it may determine the fate of the universe depending on which lantern wins. Wayne, I have seen your work. Join me in the Yellow Lantern Corps, and I will make you my first commander, replacing Mongol and leading my men as we battle the other lanterns and secure the earth and protect it once and for all. And he holds out a ring.
Wait, is it compatible with yellow ring?
Are you?
Yeah, remember I picked up the one Mongol dropped and it wouldn't work.
Oh shit. Chemo brain.
No, I like this. I like this a lot. Give me a second. Because this Wayne doesn't know that.
Right.
I. Sinestro, I want to address everything you've said point by point. If you came to Earth as a hero and did heroics in the way you do and helped people just using the powers that you have, there is no one outside of a Justice League who would say that you don't deserve to be a part of the ruling class, quote unquote. You are a cut above anyone, especially anyone the planet has to offer. Especially after the whole Doomsday thing. The person who despised you, who stood against you most fervently, is gone now. And the Earth is, I want you to know, a place you can feel comfortable.
I see.
I read the file that the Justice League had on you just to see, prior events, stuff like that. I like the schemes. I like how effective yellow paint was against the last lantern.
That was a good one.
It's incredibly funny. The most powerful weapon in the universe, and the color yellow just undoes it. I did not know about the other lantern cores. Can you is this like a fundamentally bad thing? Wait, red is already an established thing, right?
No.
No?
Well, not that you guys like know of. Like there has not been the whole fucking Blackest Night, brightest day, fucking none of
Like
that.
Dexstar, that fucking cat that got turned into a Red Lantern, that happened way before Black.
It did, but you guys weren't necessarily the ones who dealt with it in this reality. It could have been dealt with by like the Green Lantern Corps on their own without you guys even knowing about it or whatever. So,
Fair enough. All right.
uh,
Yeah.
you guys do
So,
not know about the Red Lantern Corps, but Sinestro, of course, just breaks it all down for you.
all right.
So he basically says it is not a matter of good or bad. Each of the lanterns has their own motivations and quote unquote powers. Although all of the lantern powers are more or less, similar when it comes to the light energy constructs and all of that. But each of the lantern rings affects the lantern bearers differently, and so you have not necessarily good or evil lanterns, just lanterns that are hyper focused on their own, in particular, idioms and goals. And I will break down, just the important ones for now. But like, if you need more information, I am happy to give it to you. But so he breaks down the red ones, which we all know are rage. He breaks down the black ones, which you guys already know are death. He breaks down the green ones, which you know are will. The yellow ones, which you know are fear. He breaks down uh, the orange ones, which are greed.
The orange one. There's only the one.
Yeah, I was about to ask, isn't there only one orange lantern?
Yes, there is only one orange lantern, but like that comes into play. But yeah, and what's his name? F something. F that guy.
Yeah, for that or whatever.
Frizzad, yeah. Uh,
And
so
also Lex Luthor, technically, in the
yeah,
real canon.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say is that Lex is gonna become one, but like I rarely give that information away, ahead of time. But yeah.
Then
And
there's
then
what?
and then there's the sapphire star sapphire ones, which are lust, and indigo, which are mental, and the rest of the other two, at least, are not known to even the mighty Sinestro right now.
I see. As far as the ring, I'm beyond. There's not a word for it. Like, I want to take the ring. 6 months ago, when I was Great King Rat, as he was known for the longest time, I think that ring would already be on my finger, like it would have when Mongol. I'm sorry when he met his end on this planet. I think that ring would have found me because I was a terrifying entity. I hunted people in the dark places and I made them feel fear. But I don't do that anymore. Sinestro, yesterday I killed a Black Lantern. Forever. He didn't come back. His ring didn't return. I ended his life. And I did it by bringing him peace. I sat there and I talked to him until he understood that there was no purpose in endless violence. And he simply faded away. I will take the ring, but I do not know if the ring will take me.
So you do go to put the ring on?
Yeah, I'll put the ring on.
Well, it turns out that you were incompatible with the ring because you were, in fact, possessed by the Trigon power.
I had no Trigon.
Like the power force was still, uh, uh, what? Oh, right. The whole process of you first turning into the demon, then going through the 2 million years of magic and everything, having your soul ripped out, and
Wait. I don't want to be pedantic, but the Wayne who did that was baseline Wayne, no 2 million years, had his soul back on his person, just like this Wayne does.
how is that possible?
He had the item, like the item was around.
No, what I mean is, by the time, oh, you hadn't gone back in time
Yeah,
yet when
I thought
Mondel died.
I
You
thought that Wayne just wasn't compatible now because he's not like terrifying anymore. You know?
No, I was
I
I
thought he
was
was
pretty
gonna.
sure it had something to do with everything going on with the whole Trigon shit.
Yeah, no, I thought that was just your way of saying that Wayne's not like a horrifying entity anymore. And
Nope,
I thought you were gonna end up giving him like the fucking the Hope ring.
no. This was like a test. If you were willing to accept the yellow ring, you don't have to though. Like we don't have to
Yeah.
be like oh, you accept it because I know that you were expecting that it would just reject you anyway. So uh, if you want to reject the ring, you can. Um, but I'm relatively certain that it was like something with Trigon that was keeping you from being accepted by the ring. Because
Yeah, I think it's the Trigon stuff that.
well,
Well,
He wasn't.
it doesn't matter what anybody
Yeah.
thinks, because my ruling is that you can reject the ring or you can accept the ring.
So Wayne's on the edge of being something scary still.
Yes.
All right. I let me rewind a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Okay. Yeah, I told him I'll still tell him about killing a Black Lantern, which I assume is something that is strange.
Oh, I was going to respond to that, but I didn't want to interrupt you. So,
Oh yeah, no, by all means, have him respond to that. And that's where I'll jump off.
how did you manage to permanently put down a Black Lantern? I have been fighting them for, a while now with my core, and they are resilient.
I talked to him.
I'm going to need you to be more specific because uh, I may not be um, Robin or Nightwing or whoever with my banter, but I certainly, talked to them and they didn't stay down.
I The man who I was fighting was a religious zealot, and I recently learned that it is not. There's no sets like there's no single set heaven or hell, but like widely spread belief kind of creates one, as far as I know. That's not the important part. The important part is I cut the guy's head off, as you do, and sat there and talked to him and told him that he lived his full life and deserved the reward he had garnered for that, and that no amount of endless violence would bring him any closer or further from that reward, that he needed to move on and that something good was waiting for me.
See, this is why I need you, Wayne. Please, wear my class ring, and together we shall rule the cosmos as father and son. No.
Star Wars. Do
Yeah.
they? Okay, gonna have a sidetrack here. Do you see the movie Star Wars in theater? In
Uh,
theaters?
no, because um, this is this is DC and Star Wars is canon.
It's fucking what?
Yeah.
It's not. It's
I
what?
know I know that Disney and I listen, I know how everything works, but you're gonna need to check your comics because I am like almost 100% positive that there has been the Star Wars DC crossovers already. So
I, Sinestro, I respect your methods immensely. There is a subset of any population that needs an iron hand. There needs to be the stick behind the carrot, you know? I've met a lot of people who do bad things because they feel like there isn't something waiting for them on the other side of hurting people. This is going to be a dark question, Sinestro. How fast do you think you could kill a person?
like a regular person?
The waitress right there. Don't do it, but how long?
Oh,
You know?
I was about to just kill her
Don't,
like
don't do it. She seems to be a decent woman. Don't do it.
okay. Like less than a second
How long do you think that death would affect?
would affect me?
No, would affect people, other people.
Uh, like other than whoever was gonna come in here and get something I doubt not very long.
That's when someone dies violently. When someone is taken from the people who care about them. It is like leaving a wound in a body that we are all a part of. And that wound never fully heals until everyone who knew her has faded from time. People love each other. People cling to one another because the world is terrifying. And I used to live the kind of life that took people from the people they love. Sinestro, 2 years ago, I hunted a boy through the sewers because he stole something from my employer, and I killed him. And a few months ago, I looked up his family, and they're still mourning, and they'll never not be mourning because of what I did. There is a place for fear, but I don't know if I, Sinestro, I don't know if I want to be terrifying it. Because you know,
I understand. I do. If I'm 100% honest with you, there have been moments where I would go back to just being the Green Lantern that I was. And with that, he takes the ring back.
There
And
are. I want to. I didn't. I wasn't. It wasn't empty words when I said that the Earth welcomes you. You can be Sinestro here. You do not have to be Sinestro, the leader of the Yellow Lanterns. You don't have to be the most powerful person around. You can just be Sinestro and let your guard down and enjoy things.
he puts his hand on your hand. And even though your tiny little rat hand is, engulfed in his long Kimpalma basketball fingers, he says, Wayne, as kind as those words are, and as much as I would love to believe that they could be true, right here, right now, the world needs me to be the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps and the most powerful lantern of all time. And he causes the Yellow Lantern to show you like a little map of the solar system, and then little off yellow colors representing the different lanterns start to pop up, and he's showing you all of the lanterns closing in on Earth. And it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, okay, that's horrifying. I did not realize they were this close. We both have a job to do. I would, as someone with some power on this planet, like to at least talk to these people before uh, all-out war breaks, because I feel like them, they can exist without utterly destroying each other on a larger space. I feel like they could maybe exist without destroying each other on a smaller space. And if they're going to destroy each other on a space, I'd rather that space not be Earth, to be fair. Like, go fight on the moon, please. We don't need that here.
Hey, that's where I live.
I mean, if you want a house somewhere remote, Sinestro, I can buy you a house. You know,
I have a house.
it's on the moon though. Like you could get a house where there's an atmosphere.
Do you have a house on the moon?
I could if I wanted to.
Well, I do.
Well, if you wanted a house on the Earth, all you got to do is come talk to me.
Look, this has been a lot of fun, but Jeff Bezos has been dying to take his penis rocket up to visit me too. So, if you're not impressed with my moon house, like,
I'm very no. I'm very impressed with the moon house. I'm just saying, like, not a lot happens on the moon, and if you want like a summer home, on a beach or something, you my my whole thing about how you don't always have to delete Sinestro here is me opening the window for you to, on times when the world is not ending, come and relax with me somewhere.
oh,
You know?
oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I, my social anxiety, I misread all of that, and Jeff Bezos isn't really trying to take his penis rocket up to my moon base. He's trying to go to Mars.
I don't get the infatuation with Mars. If I aim for one, I'd probably go for Venus. I hear you can float metal on the clouds there.
Well, that just sounds awesome. Would you like to go there?
Uh, Maybe when this is all done, that'd be very fun.
Huh. If we're still alive after all of this, we shall spend a weekend on Venus.
Absolute. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to do the kind of magic that lets me not die in space.
As
Uh, Wayne will pay for the meal also.
Sinestro's already floated his credit card over with the yellow energy light.
Goddamn, what brand is it?
It's uh Moonex or Moon Express. Yeah, never leave the moon without it. I don't know. Like probably one of the major brands, but like an off one that would like you know deal with Sinestro. Like I don't know. I don't know credit cards. All I know is like Mastercard, Visa, American Express. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Yeah, like I don't know like which one would be just sketchy enough to do business with Sinestro, but that's the one. And then as that's all going on, the old man gets up from his table, and as he's walking past you, he says, "Hey kids, I just wanted to let you know that I think what you're doing here is really great. You go out there and save the world." And as he leaves and the doorbell chimes, he turns around and says, "Excelsior," and leaves.
Wrong series.
Is it?
Well,
Is it?
he's appeared in DC things before.
But
Yeah,
no,
he wrote for DC.
it's a big foreshadowing moment.
Oh, son of a bitch! Yeah, that was this went way better than I thought it would. To be fair,
You expected it to go worse?
I expected it to go terribly.
Yeah.
To be
Why?
fair, I expected him to show up and see that Wayne wasn't 8 feet tall anymore and to leave.
I see. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, you were at least 20% smexier when you were all, Shadow
I mean,
the rat hog.
he can still do that. He can still he's got magic now. He can make himself look like that.
Yes, when your visual design screams "do not steal."
Oh, see, no steel. Uh, I love that you got who that was before I even gave away the big drop.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm like, who's the old man? I know I should know who the old man is. I son of a bitch is the Stan Lee cameo, and I thought
Yeah.
it was just because Stan Lee wrote for DC before he wrote for Marvel.
Yeah. But also, like, this is a big foreshadowing moment. That's why that was in there. It's not just me being cute and funny and all of that. It's actual, like, uh-oh, what's this?
Hate that, despise that. Oh no.
Yeah. So that is where we end that. Okay, Hazard, hello, welcome to the game. Sorry that you had to.
Sorry I interrupted.
It's okay. It's okay. I just needed to, get through all that, and since you were late and everything, we'll get to you. But
It's also nice that you got to that part,
yeah,
and it also opens up some interesting things.
yeah. So to let you know, I do have something ready to go for all of you, but you specifically. Um, but first, we have to cover Viv's date now. So just continue to hang tight and be patient.
I
And
shall hang tight and be patient.
all right,
I shall also be an ear to the wall.
all right. So you know, just wanted to cover that with you though in between here since we're finally in between acts. Also, if anybody would like, 5 minutes or whatever, I'm gonna take 30 seconds to go hit up the little dungeon master's room, but you know, then afterwards
I'm
we
gonna
can get going.
I'm gonna hit the halfway point on this bottle of foot wine.
All right.
You still see the foot walk?
Oh yeah, it's grown on me. You know
I'll
what the
be.
thing?
What?
I said, you know what the kids are saying? Suck toes or die trying.
That okay. I'll be honest. I spent the entire date sequence essentially just window shopping for art of dresses on Pinterest.
That's fair. I was hoping. I do not believe in what I just said. I was just hoping to get a terrible reaction from Travis for saying it.
Ah,
I was muted.
Wait, what
welcome
did you
back, Travis.
Would you like me to say it again, or would you like to repeat what you said, Travis?
I don't remember what I said because then I started thinking about ordering some pizza.
Why did the phrase "suck toes or die trying" make you want to eat pizza, Travis?
Oh, then perish.
That's a good one.
I usually get my pizza from a local pizza place called Pizza Box, and it's a lot tasty.
All of my pizza comes from a box too.
That reminds me of something that happened the other day when I was going to the Domino's with my girlfriend. I saw there was actually like a little Noid sticker on the door, and I pointed out, "Hey, honey, it's the Noid." And she just like complete white noise. She doesn't know what the Noid is. I'm gonna have to explain it to her later.
Avoid
He's-
the
Make her
void.
He's
But-
back.
Make her play a video game.
Do you guys notice how she's been downgraded from fiance already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that Noid issue apparently hits hard.
Right?
I
Trouble in
have to-
paradise here.
I have to say the difference between fiance and girlfriend is like the difference between like bishop and cardinal. A cardinal
big
is a
difference.
bishop with additional titles.
That is a difference. That's a genuine difference.
Yeah, it's
That's a
like
real-
it's a literal promotion.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that a cardinal is still a bishop. It's just that a cardinal is a bishop with additional titles.
So-
yeah, and a bigger salary, and also like they are the bishop over a larger. It's a big difference.
it's a big
Yeah, but the thing I'm pointing out is that if I call my fiance a girlfriend, it's correct because she's still a girlfriend until we're actually at a wedding.
Oh,
She's
just
a
any
fiance.
wedding? If you go to any wedding while they're in fiance status, it's just like, oops.
No, I said until we had a wedding.
Oh, I thought you said that until we're at a wedding. All right.
No.
So Viv,
Mhm.
your date with Oswald Cobblepot is quite a bit different from the secretive rendezvous of the rat and the monster. Oswald, this guy might have a lot of his money sunk into the Iceberg Lounge, but he definitely has the funds and the capability to like go all out. And so you are expecting him to pull up in, something fancy of limo or, whatever.
I'm expecting him to call ahead.
Oh,
There was like a little thing I was going to establish before, like, he showed up.
he sends you a golden invite engraved with the date and time that he will be by to pick you up, and inside the pouch is a assortment of little gifts, jewelry, trinkets, etc. A little tie-along pouch, but then also a return envelope, so that you can RSVP, that date and time works for you.
Ah, okay. So yeah, obviously I retain. The thing I was going to point out is that when the day arrives, whenever that may be, I know it's today, but Viv was going to go back to their little extra dimensional home, and basically going to pace around their sitting room for a couple of minutes, maybe hours, and go like, I'm really anxious about this, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to look like. And then they're just like, you know, I enjoy being an agent. It just occurred to me I can leave that little mortal so dumbstruck that nothing can possibly go wrong. And so I'm going to use my variable acquisitions license to acquire some things. Namely, I'm going to put 1 point to improve my attractiveness score from 1 to 2, and then sink the other 4 into social skills. And how that's actually going to work is that my character is going to ask for an appointment of a divine tailor, as well as a makeup artist and hairdresser to come around their place and just work on them prior to the actual date itself. When this entire process is over, they will exit looking like a changed woman, ready to be picked up. I just want to establish that before the actual things began.
Killer Moth radios to Tremor. You're gonna want to see this.
All right.
And so out on patrol, you quickly make your way back to base where Killer Moth shows you on the security camera footage Viv waiting out back or out front or wherever for her date to pick her up. And well, what do they see?
God. Okay. So the basic version is, and this is obvious because of what I am, I don't know how to put into words all the grimy little details, or rather pristine little details of what I was going to put out. So I was just going to say, imagine Viv, but with their hair color redone, basically squeezed into a dress like so. I went window shopping for this. There it is. It's posted in the Discord.
Yeah. And so she has on not only the first, like, real fancy dress that you've seen her wear since the night of the Iceberg Lounge, but her hair is completely redone, and I mean she looks like it's a real date.
Now that you mention it, the last time was for the Iceberg Lounge. So if you look at it from an angle, both times I've dressed up, it's been for the Penguin. Nah.
Yeah. And so the Penguin does not pull up in a limo or a Bentley or Hummer, stretch Hummer or whatever. Nothing like that. No. The Penguin shows up in a full-fledged Penguin chopper, fully decked out with his, penguin theme, lands right on the street and extends to you a bouquet of roses with diamonds glued all around them to make them look like droplets of water, but it's sparkling like diamonds.
Well, damn. Well, I'm of course going to accept them. I don't know what to say.
My dear, you look lovely. Here, take my hand and climb aboard the Penguin chopper.
I am going to accept the penguin's hand gingerly and step on up in a slow and deliberate fashion. I was slightly sidelined by the mention of the penguin chopper, because now I couldn't think as the Thanos copter.
Penguins explicitly can't fly. I hate that it's a helicopter. Penguins can't fly.
Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't get in there. I'm very scared that it's.
No, it's fine. I didn't expect the penguin to show up in the penguin submarine to pick me up.
Yeah. So I got my pilot's license a couple weeks back, so hold on tight. And he goes to fly, and I mean, you guys are in for a rough flight. your yeah, your hair gets a little messed up as he's sideways for a moment, and you guys spin around in the air a couple times, and he gets your heart racing for as much as your heart can race, and he almost hits a building, and then when he lands, he's actually got one bar up on another vehicle and like half crushing it, and then like the other bar like going down, and so the blades of the helicopter are like just nicking the ground and causing a bunch of sparks to fly everywhere. The other bar is out of town. No, it's just on the ground. But so there's like a bunch of sparks flying everywhere until the blade finally dies down, and he says, well, any landing you can walk away from.
The trip certainly had a personal touch.
And you look, and you are on the roof of the parking garage of the the biggest, best hotel in all of Europe.
Wait, we're in Europe now?
Yeah. I flew to Europe.
Oh, that went by quickly.
Well, I mean, it took a long ass time, but
okay, we're in Europe.
yeah.
Yep, we're in Europe. Confirmed Europe.
It took a really long time, but still. Yeah. It just teleported there. Now, in fairness, he does have a really, really good helicopter and the ability to refuel. You guys did have to stop in the middle of the ocean on his. I wouldn't call it a Penguin aircraft carrier, but it's like a mini one. Like a little tiny one. Yes, you would. Yeah. I mean, it's not an aircraft carrier. It's just like not a super nuclear aircraft carrier like fucking the United States government has.
What's it called? The Emperor?
Yeah, it's definitely called the Emperor. For sure.
Fucking
of course, it's a giant penguin. Yeah. And so you land on the back of it, and you fuel up and everything, and then he keeps flying you to Europe, and then like the biggest, best hotel, like I don't know, like wherever it is, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Morocco. Oh no, he totally flies you to Morocco. What am I even saying? You guys are definitely in Morocco, definitely living it up. In fact, the Prince of Morocco is meeting you guys in the private like bar cantina thing that he has set up for it, and so he's there having drinks with his entourage and Cobblepot, and you get to like just go in and instantly start having like some Moroccan, like they have like breads and curry like sauces and shit, and like meats, and like they just got food, just everything you could want is already out, and then drinking, and just all the drinking and drugs and food and everything for like as long as you want to party. Like Oswald is about that life. This was not a like this was not a like a attempt to like take you to like some fancy dinner and wine and dine you. He just wants to have a great time. You're a gorgeous woman, and like we're gonna party it up with the royalty of Morocco until the fucking cows come home, and there ain't many cows in Morocco.
That's such a good turn of phrase. Oh, I see. Well, given the circumstances and the fact that this is quite a sweeping event, Viv will actually do their best job to enjoy the events occurring. Maybe tone back some of the more aggressive components of their biological operating systems so that they can enjoy the party better. Because ordinarily, I don't think they could get tired or drunk or anything.
Yeah, probably not. Although certainly, if there's one place that will test the limits of your drug immunity, it is Morocco.
I bet.
Drugs?
Well,
whole market is drugs. Even monkey is drugs.
Only American money. Our money is.
Yeah, our money is drugs. Yes.
I just rewatched that episode yesterday.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely it is a place, and the sights and smells and everything. But also, Oswald is trying really hard to like show you that like he's not just about that Antarctic penguin lifestyle, and that like he can live a rich, world traveling lifestyle too. Like he's really trying to impress you like badly.
wow. Ordinarily I would have said that's hard, but like in context, he's putting in a very good effort. I'm feeling at least mildly impressed.
Oh, well then you haven't seen nothing yet, cuz the next day after, a full night of partying, you guys go hit up the Moroccan market, and it is like a free for all. He is buying you everything that catches your eye. If you even like touch it, it's already purchased.
I hate that I would be really vulnerable to this kind of attack because this sounds too sweet.
Yeah. Well, and so
Yeah, Green King Red is probably right. If there are fucking actual magic trinkets on the market, I'm definitely sweeping those up.
Magic exists. There's absolutely things that are magical that only Viv would see.
And not to mention in Morocco.
I see you have an eye for my lamp.
Yes. It just has that kind of glister that's hard to find.
This
Shush.
is no ordinary lamp. Will not break. Also makes julienne fries.
Really? That's all very interesting.
By the way, I'm only like 20% kidding. Like there really is a dude offering you a lamp.
Buy that lamp. I don't care if there's a genie in it. I'm buying it.
You're like, listen, I hope there is a fucking genie in it. All right, so yeah, that lamp got bought, and like it does seem to have a strangeness to it.
Yep, I will definitely you know, I will definitely put the fucking lamp on the fucking pile. I assume is being attended by the servant boys brought along with us.
Oh yeah. And Cobblepot is like, oh, what the hell do you mean? 250,000? That's ridiculous. I'm not paying more than 25,000. And like you just hear him haggling with this guy, and this guy's like, hey, if you don't want lamp, you don't buy lamp. And he's just, he's like, and everybody's like haggling and blah blah blah. And finally he settles. He paid $150,000 for that lamp for you.
I see. I feel that that is going to earn praise from Viv. I don't know how to articulate that sentiment in character.
Yeah, and then there's just a whole bunch of like Moroccan jewelry and like what I mean. You can tell me more of like what Viv would have like had her eyes on, but bear in mind that whether you actually wanted it or not, if you even looked at something too hard, he just bought it.
Um, Viv is probably going to be focusing on a specific set of things. They probably look at and attempt to acquire gems and any rare mineral items they spot. Even if that causes them to get things that are sort of unusual, like if they spotted a slightly nicher like industrial alloy like Invar or something, they'd probably get that even. And two, they'd probably get anything they thought looks like a neat sort of tasty item, because they're kind of in the business of eating food despite everything.
Oh man, street food is abundant here. Like there's food like you wouldn't believe. If you meant actual food, like
Yes, that is in fact what I meant.
yeah. So like yeah, there's so much food. It's not even funny. There's vegetables, breads, meats, fish, so much fish. Fish every which way. Smoked fish, salted fish, fried fish, like just everything you could want when it comes to fish and they have a bunch of spicy like curries and all of that. I'm not an expert on Morocco though, so I can't tell you like everything. I can just tell you like some of the like basic stuff that I know. So.
Yeah. I get that. Huh. I see. Yeah. Actually, as a quick thing, I want to figure out where Morocco is.
You don't know where Morocco is?
I'm very bad at
It's
geography.
it's right off of the Mediterranean Sea.
I don't know where that is either.
What?
Oh, it's beneath Spain. Okay. Okay. No, I was starting to get curious.
Yeah, Morocco. That's the Mediterranean Sea. There is that whole big area, and that's where like civilization for the Western civilization basically was all around there, and so Morocco is like the poor neighbor to all of the like European shit that went down for forever
Mm-hmm.
because it's like right there.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I was just interested.
Yep.
Yes, Morocco.
Morocco, indeed. That is what they call that place.
Yes. Anyway.
Oh yeah, like Casablanca. You might have heard of it.
No.
It's a famous movie.
Wait, it's a movie? I didn't even.
It's
anticipate that.
also a city in Morocco.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know either.
Also a play, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be a play. Yeah.
A play like the fight shoots.
Like what?
Okay, never mind. It was just a German play.
Oh. Sorry. Do not know. Sorry.
Is okay. Anyway, so what happens next on this lovely roller coaster of events?
Ah, yes. What does happen next? Well, he says, well, this was quite night and day, but I don't know. I think this is not quite enough. And so he flies you to Madrid for the next night.
I'm sorry, but Madrid?
Yeah, the capital of Spain.
Hold on. I just have to say, is Viv going essentially on like an ultra rich 1%ers version of a week long bender?
Yep.
Where they just fly around to the ritziest places in the world?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to establish that was the thing that was happening.
Yeah.
Hey lads, it's what's the term? Networking.
So he takes you to Madrid, and for Madrid, it's a whole different kind of vibe. It still has that like, you know, uh, kind of like deserty, Spanish, heat and all of that, but yeah, the Lantern War will already be done. She's just in hiding on her date with Cobblepot. But the nightlife here, it's not the back underground kind of party scene like what you were experiencing in Monaco. This is like paparazzi nightclubs and all of that. Like he takes you to like the big time Spain. The not the little like he took you to the Morocco for the more underground homey kind of feel on the first night. Now tonight it's all about like being where all of the A-list celebrities are, because like A-list celebrities don't go to all the like places where you think that they go to places like Madrid and stay in fancy hotels where like nobody else is and all of that. And so that's where he takes you, and you guys like literally run into like uh Jennifer Lopez, and she's dating like you know LeBron James or somebody, I don't know, like just uh you run into that kind of celebrities and have that kind of a night where you're still out partying. It's still a nightclub. Everybody's having a good time and all of that, but it's just much more mainstream, but with celebrities.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the night, Howie Mandel comes up to you and says, "Hey, do you want to see me put a glove on my head?"
Viv is obviously going to answer in the affirmative, but I have to ask, Atarakis, is this some sort of old man thing I'm not getting?
What? You think I'm old? Come on, it's me, Howie.
Even I've vaguely heard of Howie Mandel.
I don't know who that is or why he's famous.
I'm
I
famous
know-
for
I know the
doing
name.
this. And he takes a rubber glove and a latex glove, and he stretches it out over his head and blows it up with his nose until there's a big old blown up glove on his head.
I see.
Oh my god, he's the host of Deal or No Deal.
Wait. I never watched that.
No,
I was
he
also
is?
on America's Got Talent.
He's the fucking bald guy from Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why are you doing this?
I had a show, a cartoon called Howie's World.
I see. I have never. I don't. I don't really watch TV. I'm sorry, guys.
Ah, that's all right.
He
Did
was
you
in
want
World
Did you
War
want
II.
me to sign your boobs anyway?
I
I'm
get
just
the
kidding. I don't touch anyone. And he walks
Okay.
away.
He was in Gremlins?
I was getting ready to slap that fuck.
He's literally a germaphobe. He won't touch anyone.
I was so sidelined by the comment it stopped me from being angry.
Yeah, he was just messing with you.
Anyway, fuck.
Yeah. So Oswald comes back after getting you drinks. He's like, was that fucking Howie Mandel over here bothering you?
Not particularly. I just don't watch TV, so I'm not familiar with any of his works.
Yeah, fucking hack. Hey, why don't you go get your own woman, Mandel?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it was a no deal situation.
At that, I do have to. At that, I do have to level the interesting question of: do you consider me yours?
Oh, no, I mean, at least not until the contract's signed.
The contract?
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh knowingly at how ironic that sentiment is.
Well, especially since me as DM knows what
I'm just thinking like, well, I mean, admittedly, fucking, I can't help that was fucking good.
Yeah, and then the next day he flies you to Paris and then to Monaco and Rome and back home.
I see. You shush. I mean, it's a very serious flirt, but shush. Okay, yeah, no, thinking about that one for 2 seconds.
Oh,
Would be an actual flirt, but very bold.
And when you're in Rome, he buys you like several things from ancient Roman times that like cannot be bought. And he buys you the Pope's spare hat that somebody stole from the Vatican. It's a backup hat, and he paid somebody 2.5 million to steal the Pope's backup hat, not his actual hat, but his backup hat.
I see.
It was Wayne. He called you in. Wayne, I need a favor from you.
Score.
Listen, it's gonna pay, but I need you to use your skills to get small and get into a space that nobody else would dare fucking try to get into.
You might want to check Dragon.
Don't worry, nobody's gonna get hurt. All I need is for you to take a hat.
I can do this.
All right, and then so we'll forgo. It's a quick little cutscene. Wayne obviously boom boom in and out. He gets the hat, but there is a moment where somebody comes in and Wayne has to get inside the hat as much as possible and crouch down, and so just his like little feet and tail are sticking out of the hat as this guard walks past and like just sees the hat and doesn't notice him before he like pops up with the hat on him and like keeps scurrying along. What do you mean?
The Pope hat just fucking sitting in a hallway. Like, look, the Pope's hat is loose
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Nothing to go with this.
Yeah. Just it's out for a walk again.
Looks like Frankie's going on another one of his benders.
Look, I didn't say he was the best guard they had.
This is the man with a fucking halberd. All
Yeah.
the Vatican guards have like a fucking pole arm.
Yeah. So he just does his Wizard of Oz thing and OEOs on past.
Also, Wayne can turn himself into a regular rat now, so he's even better at breaking into places.
Oh yeah. So that works even better. So you can just like pop into rat form and hide in the hat. But either way, it's funny for you to like pop back out in Wayne form with the hat like on you, but like
Yeah, it was a fun fact. It was a 1-point power
nice.
because rat is a PL0 form.
Nice. So, Viv, on top of like priceless sculptures and paintings and mosaics and all of that, he also presents you with the actual goddamn Pope hat.
At that, I just have to comment. My. This is one of the best souvenirs I've ever gotten. It will be a nice thing to put inside my home.
Ah, well, maybe one day I can be too.
Well, if you'd like to visit, that could happen someday. It would be, how should I say?
Go
a
on
more
ahead.
tame. What?
I'm just commenting on Great King Rat. Go on and.
The fuck is. Oh, the fucking. You're correct. It would be at a pretty appropriate time. I really shouldn't flap my mouth so much, and instead I should kiss the penguin, because it would be an appropriate moment. I am fucking gonna kill everyone involved if I get any amount of guff for this.
Kiss the penguin.
Alright, fuck it, I'm kissing the penguin.
He is a total gentleman and does not go for anything more than what you willingly give him, though he does, of course, make sure that it is expressed that he, is kissing you back, just not in any kind of aggressive or, trying to push things further than necessary manner. And he blushes the deepest red that you've ever seen someone so pale blush in your life.
God damn it, that was the other thing I was gonna note. For the first time in this entire endeavor, Viv also blushes. I yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? Right. Visit my home. That can happen.
Well, then I look forward to that day. Until then, please take this and just know that you can contact me at any time. And he hands you a penguin phone that is a direct line to him.
I see. I'm going to put that away with my other things and be like, still, it was a magical most of a week. Or a week. I lost track of time.
And so, with that, the dates have been concluded. You guys can, decide where we go with any of that in between sessions. But now, while all of this was going on, Deep Night, you get another frantic call from your conch shell. You said you were changing the ringtone from the dolphin noise to what? Deep Night? Hazard buddy?
He might have gone to do something.
Hmm.
Deep Knight's been dead for 10 years.
Changing it to the whale sounds.
Ah, yes, the whales. Ooh.
Deep Night calling.
King Shark is a shark.
Deep Night Child realizes that it's King Shark, and he
Well, you
says,
don't know that it's King Shark.
"Oh, it is definitely King Shark." So,
It could be Great King Rat pretending to be King Shark.
own place.
So yes, and what do you respond with? This?
Deep Night says, "Okay, what is it? Is it the black? Is it bad? If it's so, is it real bad?"
King Shark is a shark.
Oh, that bad. Okay, I'll be. Don't worry. Deep Night sort of looks for sort of has the call on still and looks for Tremor.
Tremor is out on parole.
Parole?
I got arrested?
No, patrol.
What did he do?
They can't prove anything.
Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything.
That's not my rock. You don't know that.
Anyone could have been out here crashing meteors into shit.
Anybody could have thrown that rock.
There's no proof. You didn't see me do it, so I didn't do it.
Tremor killed the president and got parole.
Yeah. Anyway, Tremor, you're out on patrol when Deep Night radios out to you.
Hello?
The Tremor! There's an emergency, specifically with, back at Atlantis. The King Shark just called me, and it sounds bad.
Must be Tuesday again, huh, Tremor?
I don't want to interrupt anything, but I finished the foot wine.
Ah, lovely.
So, Tremor, what do you say when Deep Night says that there's a storm a brewing in Atlantis?
Travis? I think he died.
The news is so shocking that he had an aneurysm.
I've exaggerated slightly. I am going to finish the foot wine.
Hello, am I coming through now?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, for some reason Discord just stops recognizing my microphone sometimes. Anyway, I've been saying, yeah, it's Black Lantern Aquaman. We know he's down there, that's not news.
Yes, but I think it's getting worse down there, and we should definitely check it out. And Deep Night
Probably.
is just like, it's just sort of like looking to the phone and saying, "It really sounds bad." And Deep Night just sort of like cocks to the phone and says, "Don't worry, we'll be there in a flash."
King Shark is a shark.
And he hangs up, and Deep Night heads out to get Tremor.
Yeah, I'll just head back to
Yeah,
the building.
before you even get to the door, Tremor's like in the building.
Ah, good. Okay. This is most certainly about the Black Lantern. So, we should be heading towards you know where.
The ocean?
No, duh.
Well, why did you say Atlantis like it was fucking Voldemort?
It's I'm saying it because it's obvious.
Ah. So, You guys are going to head out then?
Indeed, we are.
Okay.
I do want to say, for the record, there is no end to that gills spell. And both Great King Rat and Tremor, for however long it's been, have been having to fucking wet their gills.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of that Jurassic Park thing of you were so occupied if you preoccupied of if you could, you didn't know if you should, and he shouldn't have because there was no duration on that fucking spell.
Okay, so Tremor.
Do 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 do.
It's just the ocean.
And
He
Deep
takes
Night
you from the ocean.
are out in the middle of the ocean,
I hate that it's just the ocean. That's
and
so
and you're kind of like over Atlantis, but it's 20,000 leagues below the sea, so it's gonna be a bit yet, but now at least you guys can begin to see where you're going and everything, but before you can even begin your dive, as you are, out here riding the waves and doing all of that, you see. One second.
My old island is somewhere around here.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. 20,000 leagues is longer than the planet.
yeah, I know. It's a joke about the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and there was an SNL skit, about it that I always like to, kind of think about whenever I think about that old 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah, but yeah, it's a funny thing.
The men are here. Oh no, not the men.
And
Hey, honestly, at least it's not fucking dolphins. That was grisly.
and so a bunch of Atlantean soldiers come and surround you guys, and they point laser tridents at you, and are like, in the name of Atlantis, Deep Night, you are charged with being a traitorous scumbag, and your rock buddy is a dumb pile of rocks. So,
It's a traitorous pile of rocks.
yeah, well, he can't be a traitor because he was never one of us, but you were, you traitor, and
It's not
so
true. I was your king.
you were nothing. You'll
I
never
was
be
your
anything.
king.
You were our queen. and,
That was only for a little while.
Deep Night sort of looks around and says, "Are you all under the control of Orm or the currently Black Ring at Aquaman?"
we serve the throne of Atlantis, unlike you, traitor.
I've always served the throne of Atlantis, you dolts. It's just that I don't serve Orm.
Ooh, eat laser trident. Pew pew pew.
Phew.
Pew.
Yeah, at that response, he's going to grapple one of them.
Oh man. Okay, let me turn off token lock. Go ahead.
Initiative?
Nope.
Oh,
These are mooks, dude. Like they're. This isn't like you need to roll for it type of fight.
Wait, is the fucking ocean map moving, or am I just
Yeah,
like
it's a GIF.
How much wine did you
Alright.
drink?
like 3 pounds of foot wine?
The go ahead and move up to whichever one.
I drank 1.5 liters of foot wine.
And then so
Yeah.
you grab this guy, and you put him in a
In
headlock or
sort
something.
of, yes, like some sort of weird chokehold, and then I sort of grab his foot and says, "All right, say manatee, say manatee." This is a Atlantean version of say uncle.
Yeah, I can't though because you're choking me.
It's not a.
Well, you did
You
say
know what?
you said chokehold, so
It's not a
Yeah.
full chokehold. You know.
But he's got him by the gills and not the throat, so he can talk but not breathe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, if an Atlantean chokehold, a gill hold. So, yeah, he he gives up.
Okay. Deep Night sort of
The
releases
rest
him
are
and
still
says,
shooting you though. Pew 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 pew.
I'm just gonna go take this guy's trident.
Hey, get your hands off my trident. Go ahead and roll.
Strength?
Yes, sir. Oh man, I mean, you grab it right out of his hands. He's like holding onto it for a second, but then you just like fling him like a piece of something on a stick that you don't want on there anymore.
like a piece of sushi.
Sure.
Or
And so,
Actually, no, piece of seaweed on on on
yeah,
the starboard.
yeah, and so he goes flying. You're like, get out of here.
yeah.
And now you got a laser trident,
Yeah.
but
And
they're still
Deep
shooting
Night,
you. Pew 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 pew. It's bouncing off of your rocks. Pew 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 pew.
And this is why laser weaponry doesn't work.
Haven't you guys
not on
ever
these
watched
two.
GI Joe? And
No.
no, that's a perfect example of like laser weapons never deal any harm. What do you do, Deep Night?
He's going to bubble the next one.
Yeah, you bubble cage one of them. Boom, it's bubble caged. Like you guys don't have to deal with all of the like you just tell me that you whoop their asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mix of both chokeholds, Atlantean chokeholds, say manatee, grabbing tridents, and some also bubble cages.
I, I'm sure there's one or two pretty awesome rock punches or something, or does Tremor just start using the laser trident back and just having like, you know, total like snowball fights with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just start blasting back. You're like pew pew pew. This is fun. I can do this too. And eventually, your laser trident takes them out because they're weak, and their laser trident doesn't take you out because you're big, strong rock man. So you know, bubble cages, force chokes, and laser tridents, and you guys get past the initial guard of Atlantean soldiers that like protect the surface area above Atlantis from anyone who's like trying to spot them and get down on them.
Get down on it.
I go.
I like the idea that Tremor has like an arm full of laser tridents.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, Wayne will want one of these, King Kraken will want one of these, Killer Moth might want one.
Yeah. So you
One of these is for me.
Yeah.
they're just fun. It's like airsoft guns, like paintball guns that you guys can shoot at each other.
But the thing. They go right the fuck through Wayne. They absolutely pierce him. He like lethal wounds, but he's just.
Well,
Immune to dying.
well, it's good
Yeah.
for practicing your dodging.
If you
Oh
can,
god.
if you can dodge a laser trident, you can dodge a ball.
You can
And maybe
dodge a
some
wrench.
wrenches
You
too.
can dodge a ball.
I'd be more afraid of the
Hard.
wrench, honestly.
All
And
right.
God, I love that movie.
that's a good movie. The foot line is gone.
So now it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. So, as you guys approach Atlantis, you see the glow of the shining city in the distance. You see the unusual underwater flora and fauna that grows all around Atlantis, but you see it through the haze of of the ocean water. So that's why it looks like that. It's meant to look like you're looking at it underwater. The actual image is, high definition as hell, but if you look and zoom in, it's actually got like this whole water effect going on it that's causing it to.
I see black.
Do you?
Yeah.
Anyone else seeing the map?
I see black.
Oh, I bet you I know what's going on. I bet you it's this.
Yeah, that's a very clear water effect.
Yeah. And so now you guys can see.
Wait, it's moving for other people, right?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So now you guys can see Atlantis in the distance.
Atlantis. There are times I miss this place.
I was about to ask if Deep Knight misses his home. Was Deep Knight raised in Atlantis?
Yep.
Indeed.
As a soldier, so like fiercely loyal.
Until Orn took over.
Until
Did
you
Deep Knight
turned
ever,
your back on us.
did Deep Knight ever meet Aquaman before he died?
Of course.
What kind of relationship did they have? I hate
Well,
to derail,
he
but
sort of like he admired his strength. It was the same respect a soldier gives his king.
Because that's exactly what it was.
Deep Knight's really cool. I just want to say he's a very cool character.
Thank you.
And so, Deep Night, you're the first one to realize that something's wrong. A school of rays swims past, and they are purposefully like avoiding a certain part of the forest of strange plants.
Reef.
Yeah, the reef, and as they swim past it in a wide loop, like you know that means that there's like a predator or something there, but there shouldn't be predators this close to Atlantis. The guards tend to keep the larger, more dangerous predators well away from the city so that young Atlanteans can travel to their schools. But
And what predators that are here are usually just sort of used as mounts.
yeah, I mean, if there is anything, it's trained, and otherwise anything that is predatory is usually too small, not dangerous enough to be a threat to the children, and
Yeah,
and
I
so
understand that.
for these massive rays to be avoiding something, I mean that's a pretty dangerous thing for these rays to be avoiding it, because rays are a type of shark cousin, and so they're not really afraid of much.
And Deep Knight sort of remembers the sort of franticness in King Shark's voice as he sort of remembers how he was reacting and sort of puts one and one together and realizes that it really is bad. And Deep Knight says, I think we should be checking out the coral reef.
Tremor.
I assume he's having mic problems again.
He might be. So, assuming he doesn't object, if you go check out the reef, roll for your perception.
Testing.
Yep.
All right. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, I said, yeah, let's go check out the coral reef.
Coral! All right. So,
Well, do you want to roll your perception, Tremor?
it's okay, because as you get closer, you don't need to look all that hard before you see the body of a giant shark man that you recognize instantly.
King Shark!
No, it's
And Deep
Captain
Knight.
Boomerang.
Now, Deep Knight just sort of swims over to the body of King Shark and sort of checks over the body to see exactly what's going on here, if he's still alive or not. So that's going to be a medicine check, right?
It would be, except for you don't need to. There is a giant hole in his chest.
Deep Knight sort of realizes this and is just terrified at that
His
factor.
heart seems to be missing.
Deep Knight sort of says, sort of clutches his fists and says, out in rage, Black Lanterns! And he's just very furious at this fact.
And
He's all
as that happens, Great King Shark rises up as a Black Lantern.
Uh-oh.
Aquaman. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask if we could, like, pause in just a couple minutes. I got a pizza coming, then I need to run down and go get.
No worries. Yep. And so Great King Shark rises as a Black Lantern, and Aquaman comes swimming down at great speed from above to attack. Now, this is going to be an actual combat, but for right now, it's going to be kind of cutscene, theater of the mind kind of combat. And so, Great King Shark turns and bites Tremor as hard as he can, crushing some of the rock in his powerful jaws. But I mean, your rock is tough, so you're not like getting your arm ripped off or nothing. It just kind of hurts. And Deep Night Aquaman is swimming right at you, saying, "Traitor! Now you will pay for your crimes against the throne of Atlantis."
Deep Knight is sort of confused and says, What crimes? I was against Orm sitting on the throne.
The crime of not being able to take this punch. And he just, like, punches you as hard as he can, which is, like, pretty dang hard. He's got a damage 13 punch, I think it is, so, yeah.
Oh,
Or it's damage 10, but attack 13. Either way, it's a pretty good punch. It's no slouch of a punch. So damage 10. Yeah, so he's got a attack 13 plus 10 damage punch. So he hits you pretty hard. Your jaw hurts a little bit, and you guys continue this kind of back and forth.
until
Until we wait for Tremor to confirm that he is back and everything, because this is a big moment. There's gonna be something that happens. Shh! Don't tell him.
there's something happening. There's something happening too. Scratch that.
He's gonna come back and think that you and Aquaman are in the middle of like a dance-off, sing-off competition.
What are you talking about? That's how Atlanteans fight.
Right? It's always a street rap battle to the death.
That's the only way they fight. It'd be unfair to, like, everybody knows Aquaman's the strongest. So it's the one who sings the best and is the best heard underwater who is the real victor.
That's awesome.
Also, slightly pissed. Wayne has a teleport ready. Anybody could just be like, "Hey, Wayne, Atlantis." And the Viv can just do that.
You guys are dating.
Right now?
Yeah. And in fact, Viv is going to be gone for the next couple days.
That's true, but Wayne is like at a date that lasted 20 minutes and then was told that space is coming to kill him. You know?
In total, it was probably like an hour and 20 minutes once, like, you guys got there, got seated, got the food, got eated, got the conversation in, got back home. Yeah, it probably took like 2 hours.
Wayne didn't go back home or anything. He left right from there to do what needed to be done.
Oh, okay.
Like, he left the date slightly early. How well did the date go? You're playing Sinestro. From his perspective, how well did you think it went?
Well, you'll have to ask him.
I mean, yeah, this is out of character. I'm good at separating the character from
yeah,
the
that's true. I think Sinestro was happy and, socially awkward for a reason, so I would say it went well.
The way that they both, like, there's a very similar impetus between Wayne and Sinestro of, like, I do a job, but also I very ashamedly and subtly crave to be beloved. You know?
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah, Sinestro. He misses that. People used to celebrate him.
And Wayne wants to build a world where Sinestro is celebrated because he, like he said, there's a place for genuine fear in a healthy society. You know, there will always be people who would do like Ted Bundy shit if it wasn't for the fear.
Oh yeah.
You know, And Wayne wants to build a whole world where Sinestro can be himself and also be beloved.
Society, be yourself. Also society. No, not like that.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing. That fucking pancake scene you wrote
Yeah.
made me out of character love Sinestro. That was beautiful because it was so earnestly a man who missed being cherished. You know?
Yeah, he used to get, like, not that, but something like that, at the
Yeah.
end of every mission,
And he became a villain, but he's not like a bad. He's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. You know?
He has mostly altruistic purposes with a big caveat.
He's an authoritarian,
Yeah.
and like they're genuine, 100%. Wayne would fight and die for the idea that there is a necessary component of fear in keeping justice.
Yeah. I think Superman is not without his fear,
Like
generating.
Superman never killed people. Wayne kills people. Lex Luthor kills people.
But what I'm saying is, are you telling me that fear of Superman doesn't exist?
Oh, people! If you were a fucking villain, you were afraid of Superman.
That's all I'm
Lex Luthor
saying.
was and still is, I assume, afraid of Superman.
Listen, rat. I am afraid of no man.
He's not a man.
Oh, damn. Fuck, he's right. You back yet, Tremor?
Nope. It takes him a minute to walk. He's in like a college. It takes him a minute to walk down to the door.
This has been
But,
really a good thing so far.
Yeah, it's been an amazing session.
I have to say, I don't know why, but I've always had a weakness to being courted and flirted with, and today's session really got me there. Nah.
It feels good to be wanted. Like the Penguin wants Viv. The Penguin wants to be like the guy who is when Viv goes to rest. He wants to be the guy who is there.
Yeah, I get that. It was a stunning performance. I feel offended because I was 100% expecting the fancy dinner and the wine and dine, but this went a stage beyond that in a level of extravagance I didn't even properly begin to anticipate. And so it worked a little.
Hey,
There are very few people.
I'm sorry. Cobblepop believes if you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, there are very few people on the fucking planet who could present what Earth has, like, as materials in a way that would impress Viv, and Oswald Gobblebot is one of them.
You're correct in that assessment. Furthermore, it might be a moving point for Viv, because they've had a very frigid sense of interaction with mortals up to now. I might even make attractiveness new a permanent feature of their character sheet.
I mean, it's even for something without, like, genuine emotion, for something for whom emotion on a human level is an act. Being wanted, being desired, and being sought after is something even the gods try to do.
Yeah, it's also worth noting as an odd point, in case there was any consideration for this, Viv is not a creature that mimics emotions. They truly have one. They don't have any ability or flaw that would suggest that their emotions are manufactured. They don't even have, like, mind-affecting immunity. The only notable mental quirk they have is immunity to fear. They are immune to, like, poisons and stuff. They have life support immunity, but that's purely non-mental.
Sure, that's the only quirk Viv has.
I mean in the sense that it's something written down on their character sheets that would suggest things about their personality. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
No, in truth, they have lots of quirks, but, they're a creature that experiences genuine emotion, just on the understanding that they have a mind that is of a slightly different structure than that of a normal person's.
What is emotion like for Viv?
I have to say, as a sidelining for that, is that because of what I've specified, emotion for Viv is very, very similar to what it's like for a normal person. Like, I really can't express it as being intrinsically different. They probably have more mechanisms occur in the subconscious space, but in terms of like their actual personal narrative, they experience emotions the same way a human does, just
Is
from a
it?
different perspective.
I mean, the perspective is everything. Like, there's a whole nature versus nurture thing. It's a very important element of emotion. A human could feel like Viv feels, depending on how they were raised. And the fact that Viv was raised like there has to change that.
Well, that is not quite so. There is nature versus nurture, but there are also, how should I say, things like evolutionary impulses and the way a mind is actually built in a physical way affects its output. And Viv does notably have structures that would keep them from being exactly human.
Who
What's that?
who was Viv?
Who was Viv prior to what
Like
they're
the
currently
human
doing?
body.
What's that?
Like no, like Viv is a construct that occupies a human body, right? Viv is the nanite inside of the human,
Yeah,
right?
to a point. But like, how should I say? Viv as a being isn't fully expressed unless the nanites are partially hijacking the nerve structures inside the head. So, like, it's kind of a partial thing where, like, yes, the nanites are doing the majority of the thinking, and the nanites do regulate the body itself. But the brain part, like, if you crush Viv's head in, they don't do anything until they regenerate that head.
Who
So,
was the body before the nanite? Like, would
no
they have
one.
been a person?
So I said this before in a previous session, but I'll say it again. The genetic engineering is so advanced on Viv's home plane that the body was built from scratch. There was no predecessor human to this body. It was, simulated that this is the body that was wanted to host the nanites, and then some math and gene sequencing was done, and it was grown in a vat, and then the nanites were implanted into it.
While this is technically true, what is being left out is that all of the templates come from random people from multiverses that have been snuffed out.
Well, this is not like the thing is it's obvious is like to get to that level of understanding of genetic engineering, there obviously had to work from living examples. So like, yeah, obviously like there's a lot of work behind this. So grant that.
This is
But
a
like
this
saying
is
is that
a
working from a template isn't technically necessary.
this is a deep character question. It's the kind of question like, what would Great King Rat be like if he wasn't a fucking like half rat?
Yeah.
But if Viv's host vessel was a human, would they be anything like Viv?
If Viv's host vessel was a human, would they be anything like Viv? That is an interesting question. The answer is that if like, okay, like how should I answer this? Like, I guess on a purely theoretical point, if like the nanites weren't in the equation, and like it was just an autonomous human body that could be anything, the real answer is I have no idea what it would be like, because the way the brain is put together and even it having a soul would be different, because Viv right now they don't have a soul, not the kind of soul a living creature has. They have a similar sort of supernatural thing in their body, but what it is and how it functions and how the rest of reality regards it is different. So like for it to be a complete human, the nanites would have to be removed from the brain, So that would change how it behaves slightly, and it would have a fresh, spanking new soul that would be completely new, like, anything a soul could be. So the truth is,
Yeah.
I have no idea what 100% human Viv would be like. Probably completely different.
Can you walk me through the process of when Batman with the chain? I can't remember the name of the guy right now. Lobo. When Batman Lobo had Viv and Viv killed herself. What the process of consciousness is not bound to the human form for what Viv is fundamentally. What was becoming Viv again like for the Viv soul analog?
So the way that worked is that essentially, when Viv died, essentially what happened is that the nanites inside of their body deconstructed their cells, one by one until they were a loose pile of proteins and enzymes. Then the nanites deconstructed each other until there was a special, Terminator branch left behind that were all able to self-detonate. What was left behind was a pile of materials that were scattered into the winds, and anchored somewhere randomly amongst that was a sort of little fut of supernatural energy, just kind of free floating. Not innately conscious or able to be collected the way a soul would be, like a packet of energy in cold storage, just doing nothing. Sorry, a packet of inanimate information expressed as a pure piece of energy that is mostly invisible and undetectable.
And
What's that?
A Reaper came and got it. It didn't return on its own. It didn't have that.
No, that's one notable property of quote unquote their soul, is that they're completely immobile. It cannot move, ambulate on its own, and it isn't naturally pulled anywhere by some sort of cosmic force. It's immensely stable and unchanging once it's outside of its body.
I gotcha. Is there a special kind of Reaper specifically for dead agents? Or
Yes.
did a regular Reaper? Okay.
General psychopomps and normal Reapers do not serve these energy. We call them moths. I think I said that before, but do not serve as moths. They're deployed directly from Viv's home plane is a class of androids called Reaperoids, generally speaking.
Yeah, I've heard about the Reaperoids.
Yeah, the modern variant would be like a Generation 3 Reaperoid. Came by and essentially scooped up Viv's moth and brought it back to their home plane. From there, the process of turning them back into an android would have been simply to, first off, they would have gone close to the core of Vivian's home plane, where Vivian's god lives. Near there is a place called the spawning pools. The spawning pools are essentially large nanite pure forms, like gray soup, where occasionally random androids will just appear there, kind of, let's call it accidentally, and otherwise it's where many unique androids are created in bulk. And
was Viv a unique android?
No, I'll return to that in a moment. The moth would then be dumped into the spawning pool. I say dumped, it's slightly more complicated than that, wherein it would attach itself to a new nanite group. And a little, roughly fist-sized clump of nanites in a nanite pure form would worm its way out of the pool, and that's
ready to be put into a new human.
What's that?
Ready to be put into a new vessel.
Yeah, this thing would essentially communicate the genetic template that was used to grow its old body. That would be cloned in a vat, and then it would be dumped in.
So Viv's fundamental soul, the base of Viv reduced to even atomic particles, is just a packet of information that knows what she knows and is ready to be regrown by her home plane?
Yeah, I guess the thing that could be described as the difference between that and a soul is that a soul is kind of like, how should I say, a file on a computer. All
And
the
there's energy.
information. What's that?
There's energy to a soul. Like a soul is a valuable commodity, and
Yeah, but
what
I
Viv
let,
is at its core is essentially like built to not be a valuable commodity to terrestrial afterlives.
how should I say this? To finish the analogy, a normal soul is like a folder on a computer. It's
All right.
this thing filled with all this stuff, and these things can move around and do their own things as their programming demands. And it's very easy to do stuff with. If I were to describe, by comparison, a moth by itself is like a bunch of teeny tiny information inscribed on a tiny stone tablet outside the computer. And it's
So
encoded. Essentially,
if I
unless you have proprietary tools or special knowledge, the thing is essentially useless on top of being inconvenient to work with.
so Viv's soul is an Apple proprietary file on a Windows computer.
You could think of it like that, too. Yeah, the essential effect is very close to what you pointed out. A moth actually has much less energy than a true soul, and
Yeah.
is not in of itself autonomous or can do anything. So it's close to useless to like a common necromancer or a standard divinity or afterlife.
Did you come up with all this yourself?
Yes.
This is fucking beautiful. As like an overlay onto a regular world, this is gorgeous. I just want to say.
Well, yeah, there's like I gotta say, like years of design have gone into my my plane at this point. Adarakis couldn't be thanked for a lot of it here because he did a lot of the seeding work that helped it grow to a point. The game that it was mainly involved in happened a few years ago at this point, but ever since that, it's been kind of like how should I say, my creative baby that I keep feeding, and I've spent years, running games involving it and just meticulously working on all the information about it in the meantime.
It is the very rare, beautiful baby.
I know, or in there, right?
It's genuinely like it's a the idea of a lawful neutral plane disconnected from like a greater disk of plane that just exists to facilitate the birth and death of like regular planes without a world disk, without a bevy of gods, is like it is a spackle that fills a billion plot holes.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's one thing if you want to consider is that flexibly used, it's a nice all-purpose cavity plot hole in sealing.
All right, Raven's back.
Oh, sorry.
So, Tremor, as you guys are duking it out with Aquaman and Great King Shark, and I mean, let's face it, Great King Shark without the Black Lantern ring would be nothing. With the Black Lantern ring, he's able to like not just go down like a wet cardboard box, but you're still kind of manhandling Great King Shark. Well, Deep Knight gets kind of punched and reprimanded by Aquaman for failing in his duties and everything. Now I know Deep Knight is protesting and all of that, but remember the Black Lantern Aquaman, he's just trying to make you feel bad so that he can feed off of your bad negative energy and all of that. So it's not that he's necessarily saying true things, but he is going to try to say the truest things that he can that are going to, get a reaction out of you, and he just wants to make you feel as though you've betrayed Atlantis and the throne and you've abandoned them and all of that. And Great King Shark, of course, is just letting you know that Great King Shark is a shark, or not. I keep saying Great King Shark now ever since fucking
Breaking Rat.
yeah. King Shark is a shark, is what he would like you to know. And so he's doing all that, and you're doing all that, and you guys are fighting, and that is when the rest of the Atlanteans like come, and you realize that they are following someone with the trident.
Orm.
You see the trident glowing.
Mine, 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 mine.
As you see the trident glowing and the army of Atlanteans approaching, you realize that this is not Ocean Master.
Oh Christ.
Uh-oh. Who is
It's
it
Black
then?
Manta.
This is not Black Manta.
Damn it.
You see from the glow of the golden trident of Atlantis.
Tremor. Tremor. It's Tremor.
It's me?
It's Tremor.
It's me?
It's Tremor.
A red outfit with a woman holding the trident. Suddenly, Red
fuck.
Lantern Mira rushes forward and says, "I'm sorry, but I'll be taking control of the kingdom of Atlantis from here on out." And now, the three-way death match between the Black Lantern, Aquaman, and King Shark, Tremor and Deep Knight, and the Red Lantern Mara, who is already wielding the trident. You only know what the hell has happened to Orm and the rest of the Atlantean soldiers. And so, between those three groups, we're going to find out next time on Doomsday Aftermath, what is about to go down. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.
Good.
All right.